Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Thornburg. When should you start solid foods with your baby? My recommendation is at 6 months or after, and definitely not before. But just know, do not start solid food before 6 months because it can cause some serious GI issues. Given that your baby's 6 months old, the baby has to have two physical traits in order to start solid food. One, they have to have core strength. We don't want to feed a baby if they can't sit up by themselves. We want to wait until they're able to sit on their own, because then we know that they're not going to slouch into their belly. It's going to help digestion. Also, it's a more pleasant experience for the baby. The second point is the baby has to have stopped their tongue thrust. The tongue thrust is a primitive reflex that is designed to help the baby pull milk out of the nipple because it coaxes milk out. But if I put a spoon in the baby's mouth while they still have this primitive tongue reflex, they're just going to spit the food back at me. So we want to make sure that's gone. Given that the baby's ready to start solid food, we start with fruits and vegetables first. As we move from a liquid-based diet into a solid-based diet, fruits and vegetables are less constipating. I start with 1 meal a day for the first week, second week 2 meals a day, third week 3 meals a day, and then we go to 4 meals a day, and thereafter starting the fourth week. I mentioned fruits and vegetables only, and I do that for the first 2 weeks. And then the third week, I start to bring in the proteins, fish, chicken, turkey, beef, and I mix that with bone broth, or you mix it with the vegetables or breast milk, and you feed the baby until they're done feeding. They will literally turn away, shut down their mouth, turn away. When they're older, they'll push the food off the table. So you will know when they're done taking solid food. The next important part is that we want to give them the breast or bottle immediately after they take their solid food. We don't want the baby to get full on milk before they eat. We also don't want to feed the baby some breast or bottle kind of halfway between meals, because then they won't be as hungry at the next meal. And remember, we're moving them from taking milk and we're trying to teach them to eat like we do, which is we consume solid food calories. So if I'm spoiling their meals with milk, then they're less likely to try new foods, new flavors. They're going to eat less solid food. When we do start a food, it's the same food for 3 days because we're looking for an allergy potential. I don't want to introduce 2 foods in the same 3-day period, because if there's a reaction, I won't know which of the 2 foods it was. You want to stay tight, only 1 food introduced at a time, and we do that for 3 days because we're going to see if there's a reaction in that time period. I don't recommend gluten-containing foods to my families until the child's older than 12 months old. I also don't recommend peanuts to my babies until they're 12 to 15 months old. There's no glutens or grains or anything other than a paleo-based diet before 9 months old, because if we want to eat healthy, we're doing fruits, veggies, and meats. If we want to eat unhealthy, then we're throwing carbs and grains into our diet. So just do fruits and veggies and meats. Then after 9 months, you can give some non-gluten containing grains, help them with their hand, fine motor skills, and bringing food to their mouth. So hopefully this was informative and you gained some good knowledge from this. Ask me some questions and we can dive into this a little bit further. Thank you.